Hey guys, it's MYM777, and before I start this video, I just want to say Happy Holidays and a belated Merry Christmas. And I want to apologize for it being so long since I put out a commentary. It's been over 2 weeks, but with the holiday season, like I just mentioned, I've been pretty busy visiting family and hanging out with my friends and whatnot, and working retail, so it's gotten pretty busy. That's all I can pretty much say. But yeah, you guys wanted me to do a LMG video, and I finally got a decent gameplay. But I want to start off by saying, I'm not the best with light machine guns, and to me, they're not the most mobile weapons. So you're probably not gonna like bits and pieces of this. But yeah, hope you guys don't think too harshly of it. But I end up using the M60 with grip. I think I have a Strela for a secondary because I think this is my anti-air class. Using lightweight, sleight of hand pro, and hacker. And you'll notice that I substitute lightweight in instead of a hardliner scavenger, which are my usual perk ones. And that's because, in my opinion, with light machine guns, since they have such little mobility, you want to be able to help that in any way possible. And I don't really need scavenger for light machine guns whatsoever because, there is so much ammo, especially with the M60, 200 rounds. I mean, I may not have the best accuracy, but I don't plan on missing that much enough to need a scavenger for it. And, lightweight really helps, I guess, lessen the lack of mobility when you're using something like the M60. And going along with it, the reason I mentioned earlier that you're not going to see too much moving out of me is because I wouldn't call it just running gun because that's too broad of a statement to label a player. I run around a lot. I don't just sit in a corner all game, but I also play smart about it. I know when I have to sit back for a few seconds and assess the situation. I know when I can charge in and get as many kills as possible. But with the light machine gun, you gotta play a bit more slowly because the advantages it has is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe the light machine guns lose any damage over range. So whether you're 2 feet in front of someone or 200 feet, no matter what you're shooting, it's going to deal maximum damage. And that's a great tool to have. But you got to know when to use that tool. And, running around as if you had, say, like an AK-74 or an MP5K, it's not going to give you the best results, at least not in my opinion. You got to be able to find a position where you can lock it down. People can call it camping, whatever, but like I mentioned in previous videos, I'm not a big fan of that term. It's overused. It's just people making excuses, and just let your gameplay do the talking. And who cares if you have to lock down a building? You're trying to win, and as far as I know, our team does a good job of it. And anybody who's successful, you can't really, you don't use excuses to make up for a lack of gameplay. That's all I want to say about that. But yeah, with I guess some tips I found out after using this M60, which turns out to be my favorite light machine gun so far. I mean, I know in previous commentaries I may have mentioned that the Stoner was my favorite, but I tested this M60 out in a combat training and actually grew to really like it. It has a lower rate of fire than the Stoner by far, but I like that with grip. It has a controlled recoil. It's not as wild as the Stoner. I find the Stoner recoil pretty unpredictable. I mean, I've done well with it. I think I average about 2.5 to 3 KD with it, but I mean, numbers don't tell it all. I'm just not as comfortable with it, and it's weird because I just started using the M60 a couple matches online. I tested it a lot in combat training, but actual multiplayer I haven't really gotten as much gameplay just because I'm not a big light machine gun guy, like I mentioned. But it's great, like I said, for when you need to tactically lock down an area of the map where you have a long range of sight, because that's what's important. You're not going to be able to win a gunfight of someone when they're head to head in front of you, because I believe light machine guns have the slowest aim down sight time. And if any of you know, which I'm sure a lot of you do, aiming down the sight, that's a big part of winning gunfights, and that's why I have Sleight of Hand Pro instead of maybe something like Warlord where I could use a grip or extended mag, which people have suggested. I mean, that's a good combination in theory, but the light machine guns are already so disadvantaged with the lack of being able to reload in a reasonable amount of time and being able to aim down the sight. I don't want to cripple myself even more by not having Sleight of Hand Pro. And although, I don't reload that much, I have Sleight of Hand Pro solely for the aim down sight part. I mean, that's very critical perk to have if you want to win a lot of gunfights with this type of gun. I mean, as you've probably seen throughout most of this video, I don't exactly outgun someone, but being able to position myself to take advantage of the weapon I have, and in this case, it's light machine gun. I pretty much leave only a little bit of myself to the enemy to see, and I have a large line of sight on them, and that's obviously going to be a big advantage for me. But yeah, this video is about wrapping up. Like I said, not the greatest gameplay or score, but I thought it was a great introduction for light machine gun use. I finished 20-1, but yeah, like I said, happy holidays, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this in the commentary and in the comments below. Take care, everybody.